thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just happened to absolutely love this video, please consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different, a little bit fun, and I'm gonna share 5 of my favorite pink houseplants. Honestly, if you like pink, there are a lot of plants out there for you. I'm not a huge pink fan, but I can really appreciate how gorgeous pink foliage looks. Let's just jump right into it. The first plant I want to talk about, of course I have to talk about this. I feel like it is a very classic pink plant, and that is my AGLAONEMA Wishes. You can see this gorgeous color. I love the contrast between the dark green speckles and the outline, and then this like hot pink all over the leaves. I think it is stunning and pretty unique. Usually foliage like this means a very high price tag, but I got this from a big box store like years ago. I don't think I paid more than maybe $15 for this plant, probably less to be honest with you. It took me a little bit to fully understand AGLAONEMA. I'm not sure if I would say it's super beginner friendly. If you want to give it a shot, I definitely recommend. It's not the hardest plant in my collection. I have a whole video on AGLAONEMA care if you want to check that video out for an in-depth look at how I take care of this plant. I'm getting lots of new growth, as you can kind of see popping in here and there. I find that slightly moist soil, bright indirect light, and any humidity honestly makes this plant pretty happy. You can see my learning curve towards the bottom where it is a little bit leggy, but I think I have found my way. She is beautiful, and she is the first pink plant that I wanted to share with all of you. Next up is honestly another one of my favorite houseplants. As I'm like preparing for this video, I realized that a lot of my pink plants are towards the top in my favorites. I want to talk about the Peperomia Pink Lady. And I do remember someone asking me in the comment section if this is the same plant as the pink marble, and I believe it is, but I am not an expert on that. If anyone disagrees, please share in the comment section down below, but I do see them being used pretty interchangeably. Regardless, the care is gonna be very, very similar. This is a Peperomia, so if you can't really tell if it's thirsty or not, go ahead and squeeze the leaves, since Peperomia are pretty succulent plants. If it's very bendy, then you know that it's thirsty because it's lacking water. If it is a bit harder, like this plant right now, there isn't a huge give, I know that she is pretty satisfied. That is the deal with water. Definitely don't overwater your Peperomia because they are prone to root rot due to their thinner root system. And just like a lot of the plants I'm gonna be talking about today, because they are vibrant and variegated, they do need bright indirect light to keep that beautiful color. Otherwise, you'll notice a bit of a dull, fading pink, or just a complete reversion in variegation. The plants I'm talking about today, definitely try to give them bright indirect light. This plant does not need any particular humidity level, which is amazing. Honestly, my next big milestone with this plant is I want to see it flower. All of my Peperomias have flowered except for this one, so I don't know what's going on. She was a wish list plant for me for a long time, and a local plant shop had it. There we go, Peperomia Pink Lady. Next, we have another one of my favorite houseplants, big surprise. That is my Begonia Maculata Wightii. This is just a stunner. It has everything you could possibly want in colorful foliage. You can see that in the front, you have a gorgeous green. This is a little bit washed out. I think typically you want the green in the front to be a bit darker, but it's okay. And then on the backs, you can see where the pink comes in. I love this color so much. And also, I'm absolutely obsessed with the silver polka dots throughout the leaf. And the leaf shape is beautiful. I think angel wing begonias are just stunning. As some of you may know, I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with cane begonias. If you want to watch my begonia video, I'm just going to plug all of my videos this time. I go in depth on begonia care, both Rex and cane. This is a cane begonia. Briefly, High humidity is preferred. Again, bright and direct light would be amazing. Don't give this plant too much light because begonia leaves can definitely burn. So just be careful with that. And definitely keep it a bit moister, probably in a nursery pot like this. And then you can just cover up that ugly plastic with a nice cover pot. I think it's also a pretty fast grower because I only got her as 2 very small cuttings actually. Yeah, and then I cut that up, rooted them, and now I have 4 cuttings in this pot. And you can see that this is the biggest one. It lives up to the hype, it really does. Obviously, I have to include this plant on this list because you know I love Syngonium so much. Here's a close-up of the leaf so you can see some of that beautiful pink variegation. Let me find a good leaf for you. I ripped the newest leaf a little bit, but I love that you can see some splashes because this is the pink splash after all. And I love the speckled look with the pink blotches. You can see my rip right here. Oops. I would say that this is the second hardest Syngonium I have in my collection. The hardest, hands down, being the Syngonium rayi. This is a type of Syngonium podophyllum, and I would say it's the hardest Syngonium podophyllum that I've taken care of. However, overall, I still think Syngonium are a pretty chill and easy genus to take care of. It's just that if you have a Syngonium pink splash, obviously you have invested a little bit of money because they are still considered fairly rare, commercially rare. They are pretty expensive. This was an Indonesia import, I believe, a bit over a year ago, most likely. Since then, I've kind of had to learn how to grow this plant. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners, but I think if you're a seasoned houseplant owner, that you will kind of find your way with this plant. Every single leaf is so exciting because you don't know what the variegation pattern is gonna be, and I think that's one of the greatest parts of variegation and growing a plant with variegation. So, it's so gorgeous, and it just started to vine. It was a little bit more clustered and compact for a while, but now I finally have a vine. I might have to put a moss pole to it. For care, it's just like any Syngonium. You can let it dry out, but if you're a little bit more skilled and used to keeping plants slightly moist, that is their preferred care. Again, bright and direct light because this plant can revert on you, and it prefers high humidity, but it is absolutely not necessary. The last plant I want to talk about today is not potted up right now. It is the Begonia MAURICE AMEY. Daya sent this to me, so huge thank you to Daya. Daya did send me a rooted cutting, but I wanted to neaten it up a little bit because the stem, the stem of it was a little bit leggy, so I just wanted to trim it, reroot it, and clean it up a little bit so that I had a bit more compact growth. As you can see, it hasn't been all that long, and I already got this much root and even some little tiny leaf babies. I think you can see that. Oh gosh, honestly, I'm gonna bump up her vessel because this is not gonna fit nicely back in here. This plant propagates very well in water, which is always a perk because then you can just make more. This has been a very easygoing begonia because it shipped to me and then I acclimated it and then I chopped it to reroot it. And honestly, like, this leaf is the crankiest one and it's not that bad at all. These 2 leaves are absolutely beautiful. And under here, I'm gonna try to show you without breaking anything. You can see the new leaf coming in next. Normally, I don't even talk about propagations in these kinds of videos, but I just couldn't help it. This plant is stunning. I also like how this is a little bit more of like a baby pink, where some of the other plants I talked about today have a more deeper, like hot pink color. I really like this. We can get all different kinds of shades of pink in this video. I am so excited to pot it up. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned about some different pink plants. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already and you want to see more planty content from me. Down below in my description box are a bunch of links and ways that you could support me and my channel if you want to. Thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!